So I think we've gone over this before, but today's Monday motivation is about choosing the movement approach that works for you. I think it bears repeating that the philosophy of movement remedies and my phone philosophy is that there is no superior movement form. Now, today's blog, I kind of rail on the yoga folks who um, have a tendency to believe there's something sort of magical or mystical to the poses in yoga. Um, I think what's special about yoga and also Pilates and other movement modalities that center breath is that there is a natural centering and a focus on your body that happens when you are listening to the breath, when you are taught in such a way that you are encouraged to be mindful of sensations. And that is something that is consistent across yoga, but you can teach anything that way. And you can self coach any kind of movement that way. You can center the breath in anything that you do. And, this goes back to the idea that like sitting still is not the only way to meditate. Um, Creating a situation in which your mind and your body can be in the same place at the same time, being present, being mindful, is not only achieved in some sort of, like with a gong and like sound bowls or like, it's not the tool that matters. Like, it's great that we have all these tools and approaches that are different avenues for people to get connected to movement and to their bodies, and they maybe are facilitators. Maybe some people find it easier with certain tools. But the bottom line is that you can make anything mindful. Anything is a therapeutic tool for you to connect to your body, connect to your sense of self, and help you be really present. I find weightlifting incredibly therapeutic. I find that I cannot be distracted when I'm, trying to deadlift 150 pounds. I enjoy the sense of strength, the grounding in my feet, the tactile, metal against my hands, um, the sort of self-talk that's provoked in a weightlifting scenario. The same could be said about a million different kinds of movement. And so I just I think we miss the point. Maybe it's because people are trying to sell you something. I mean, I assume it's usually because people are trying to sell you something. That's the cynic in me. I look at the economics of it. There's an incentive somewhere. But also, I think that people they like to believe that they found the thing. Like they like to feel like they're in on it, like they're in on the secret, the magical treasures of XYZ way of doing things. But, you know, moving in groups, moving with intention, um, moving our physical bodies to a rhythm, to a flow, these things have been around for as long as we have. So there's just like nothing novel um, or particularly mystical about a way of moving. And now, if we have specific movement goals, like if you want to address osteo or prevent osteoporosis, you want to strengthen your bones. Okay, now let's talk about specific way of loading your muscles that's sufficient to cause a change in the bones. Like that's a movement goal. But when I'm talking about specifically therapeutic movement that helps you connect to your sense of self, that is beneficial for the purposes of addressing chronic pain, which means connecting you to your body, feeling safe in your body a lot of the times. That can be any number of things. So, the answer to the question, what is the movement that I should do in order to address my pain, is the one that feels the best in your body. It's the one that you will keep going back to. It's the one that allows you to feel free and connected and present. And you should try every single thing. You should try even things that seem crazy. I mean, I don't know, maybe someone's going to come back and say that there's therapeutic axe throwing. I really don't know. Um, but I just want to get us away from these like attaching ourselves to like the answer, because the answer is inside you. It's the way that you go into things. It's the way that you approach the movement. It's the way that you center your experience in the movement, the way the physical moving of the body. There's nothing magical to particular poses. There's not. There's nothing magical to Pilates either. I would never tell you that. Pilates is beneficial in my body. It's a way of moving that I find beneficial because I think resistance is important as we age, as we get older, that we keep strength, that we keep functional movements front and center. And it's a way of using resistance that um, is, minimizes joint strain. So that's why I find Pilates really beneficial, and that's why I teach Pilates. But I also personally perform other movement activities. I do yoga. Certain kinds of yoga feel good. I do that when I can. I go for jogs when I can. I go for walks. Like I said, I lift weights. I like kettlebells. I dance. Nowhere near as much, but dancing is probably my first love. So, I think you have to, just because a person like is connected to one form doesn't mean it's the only answer. Okay? I think I've said enough about this. Probably said very repetitively. All right. That's your Monday motivation. Go out there, try all the movements, find the one that makes your heart sing, and you'll know you're on the right track.